Good morning. Oh, we can do better than that. It's 9 o'clock. You've had coffee, maybe a little bit of breakfast. Good morning. So much better. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lauren Garrett. I have the pleasure of serving as the Director of the Office of Student Transition Engagement Programs, or STEP. We're the office that's with your student every step of the way, from deposit to graduation, and we're so thrilled to have you here with us this morning, kicking off the Fall 2026 Family Orientation. Give yourselves a big round of applause. I have the pleasure of introducing your first presenter this morning, Heather Deer, who currently serves as our Director of Family Engagement here at the university. She is probably best known to many of you from her incomparable summer webinar series, as well as many, many emails that come from she and her team. If you have been receiving emails from families at wm.edu this summer, raise your hand. All right, now put your hands together for the author of many of those emails, Heather Deer.
Thank you, Lauren. Good morning. I love that she warms me up. My name is Heather Deer, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Director of Family Engagement. If we haven't had the opportunity to meet in person yet, you may know me from the biweekly newsletters our office has been sending, the ever-popular Tribe Transitions webinar series, or our summer book club. I'm sure that this has been an eventful week for you and your family. Many of you have helped your student pack up their belongings and have made the journey here to Williamsburg to say, see you later. I am thrilled to welcome you to the William and Mary family. Before I go any further, congratulations, you did it. Your students are among the very best scholars in the country, and you are integral to their success. They could not have reached this important milestone without your love and support. Let's do one more round of applause to celebrate all of your efforts as a family. One of the true joys of having a college student is watching their community expand. Today, nearly 3,000 family members are beginning their journey with us. You will remain a significant part of your student's life and their success, and we are thrilled to welcome you to our larger William and Mary family. You will find connection with other families who, like you, are experiencing many of the same emotions, questions, and milestones. Let's take a moment now to begin making some of those connections. If you are able, please stand and introduce yourself to someone you haven't met yet. Everyone stand, say hello to someone. Thank you, everyone. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 5 times. Wonderful. You may now be seated. I play such a dangerous game every year when I let you all start talking. There will be additional opportunities to connect with others today, I promise. Remember how excited you just were to make a new friend. But let's learn a little bit more about who is in the arena with us today. Raise your hand if this is your first university move-in. Shout out to all those first-timers. Raise your hand if this is your last university move-in. I I don't even need to remark on the enthusiasm. Raise your hand if you're joining us from out of state. Welcome to Virginia. Raise your hand if you yourself graduated from William & Mary. Where are our alumni? Welcome home, everyone. Raise your hand if you are the proud parent of a William & Mary student athlete. Wonderful, welcome. There are so many wonderful opportunities to support our tribe athletic teams in venues just like this, and I can't wait to see all of you supporting them this fall and spring. I encourage you to carry this spirit of connection forward throughout the day. Use your name tags to connect, start a conversation with someone new, and build your own William & Mary network, just like your students are doing right now. At William & Mary, we welcome you as partners in your students' educational journey. As the Director of Family Engagement, my role is largely focused on helping families understand the William & Mary experience, what your students may encounter along the way, where they can turn for support, and how you can continue to be an important part of their success. I know the last several months, and especially the last several days, have involved a lot of information, most of which I have shared. You may be thinking about course registration, housing, orientation schedules, and a dozen other logistical questions. We will cover some of that important practical information today, but this session is really about the larger transition happening underneath all of those details. Your student is beginning to navigate a new community, new expectations, new relationships, and greater independence. At the same time, your role is beginning to shift too. Our goal this morning is to help you understand what that adjustment might look like, introduce you to the resources available for your student, and help you support them from afar. Throughout your student's time at William & Mary, you may hear the phrase, "Who comes here belongs here." But what does that mean in practice? At its core, those words reflect our belief that William & Mary should be a place where everyone has the opportunity to flourish and achieve at the highest level. For your student, that means they belong in this community. They have earned their place here. But belonging and immediately feeling connected are not always the same thing. Some students arrive believing that everyone else has already formed their friendships and found their place. And from the outside, it might look that every group is already established. But community at William & Mary is always in the process of being built. Students join new organizations, change interests, meet classmates, begin jobs, and develop friendships throughout their university experience. And there is still so much room for your student. While students belong here from the moment they arrive, their sense of belonging may grow over time. We believe that growth happens through three things: participation, engagement, and exploration. Those three things will look different for every student, but together they are how students begin turning a new place into their community. Participation begins with showing up. William & Mary will create many opportunities for students to connect, but your student will also need to take some first steps into their new community. That does not mean joining 10 organizations during their first week, which some of them will. It may mean attending 1 Weeks of Welcome event, going to a residence hall program, introducing themselves to someone after class, exploring a student organization, or trying something outside of their comfort zone just for the fun of it. Participation does not have to begin with a major commitment. Sometimes it simply means showing up once and then being willing to show up again. As a family member, you can encourage action that is small and repeatable. You might ask, what is one event that you can attend this week? Or what is the name of the person who sits next to you in class? That gives your students something very concrete to consider. A question like, have you made any friends yet? Can unintentionally make them feel as though they are already falling behind. The goal is not for your student to do everything all at once. The goal is for them to take the first step. And over time, participation can grow into engagement. Engagement is more than being present. It is beginning to contribute, develop relationships, and feel known and seen. Engagement and belonging often grow through repetition. It may begin with recognizing someone from class last week, then forming a study group with that person, which leads to joining the cheese club with someone else in that study group. By showing up, their network begins to form. Those moments can feel small, but they are often how community begins. William & Mary offers more than 500 student organizations and sports clubs, along with leadership opportunities, service programs, campus traditions, residence hall activities, and ways to engage with the Williamsburg community. Your student may be excited by all of it, and we love that enthusiasm. But belonging is not measured by how many organizations a student joins. The goal is to find a few places where they can participate consistently, contribute to something meaningful, and build relationships over time. Belonging also grows through exploration. Your student will meet people whose backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives may be different from their own. They may discover new interests, reconsider old assumptions, or find themselves drawn to opportunities that none of you anticipated. That exploration will happen through these experiences, student organizations, residence halls, traditions, and the broader Williamsburg community. It will also happen through the William & Mary curriculum. Your student may arrive convinced they know exactly what they want to study and discover an unexpected interest through the CALL curriculum. They may take a class simply because it sounds interesting or it was what was available at the time, and find that it changes the direction of their academic journey. You will hear much more about the academic experience during our next session, but part of exploration is remaining open to the possibility that your student's experience may not look exactly like any of you imagined. They may find community in an unexpected place, develop a new interest, or begin to see themselves differently. That growth is part of why they're here. Participation, engagement, and exploration help students develop a sense of belonging, but that process takes time. The transition process is rarely one straight line. A student may begin to feel confident during orientation, overwhelmed during the first week of classes, settled by October, and then unsettled again when they come home for that first long break and routines have changed. That trajectory is normal. You, as their families and supporters, play a vital role in supporting your student through their path to belonging. One of the most helpful messages that you can reinforce is that needing time, information, or assistance does not mean that your student is unprepared. It simply means that they are in transition. Encourage them to keep an open mind, try again, and ask for help, all while you maintain your own open-mindedness about their exploration. And when your student needs help, William & Mary has resources ready to support them. Much of the work we have just discussed, belonging, engagement, exploration, is supported through the work of student affairs. When we say student affairs, we are talking about the offices and people who support the broader student experience outside of the classroom. Academics are the heart of why your student is here, while student affairs creates the conditions where community is strengthened and individuals flourish. Rather than asking you to remember a long list of office names, we can organize resources in student affairs around 4 questions you or your student may ask during their time at William & Mary. How do I find community? How do I care for my well-being? How do I stay on track? And where can I get support? Find community includes the programs, spaces, and experiences that help students meet people, get involved, and begin building those relationships. That may happen through any number of things we've discussed: their residence hall, a student organization, a leadership opportunity, weeks of welcome, a campus tradition, or a community centered around a shared identity or experience. Be Well includes resources that support students' physical and emotional well-being. That includes healthcare, counseling, recreation, health promotion, accessibility resources, relationships, rest, and learning how to care for themselves in a more independent environment. I would encourage you to talk about these resources as part of being a successful student, not as something reserved only for students who are struggling. Strong students use support, seek care early, and ask questions. They use recreation and well-being resources. They request accommodations when they need them, and they talk with someone before a concern becomes overwhelming. Student Affairs also aims to help your students stay on track in both their academic career and their personal experiences. This includes resources that help students build skills, navigate obstacles, and recover when something doesn't go quite as planned. That may mean strengthening study habits, using tutoring, learning how to manage time, working through a difficult conversation with a peer, or taking responsibility after a mistake. Staying on track does not mean a student will never struggle. It means they learn how to recognize when something isn't working, ask for help, and make a plan to move forward. A difficult class, a conflict, or an imperfect decision does not have to define the rest of their experience. Those moments can become opportunities to learn, adjust, and try again. While some offices are directly connected to the idea we see when we hear get support, like Care Support Services or the Counseling Center, all staff across Student Affairs are dedicated to supporting your student through their William & Mary journey. Sometimes students know the name of the office that they need. Other times, they just know that something feels off, that they're overwhelmed, or they're not sure what to do next. No one needs to understand the entire university structure before asking for help. They can start with a resident assistant, a staff member, a peer leader, or one of the offices listed on the screen. The important thing is that they start somewhere. Staff and Student Affairs can help them identify the right next step. When they call you with a question or concern, you don't need to know the perfect office either. You can help by asking, who have you already talked to? Where could you begin? The Student Affairs website is also organized around these same 4 areas so students and families can return to it when they need help identifying a resource. Remember, strong students ask questions, seek information, and use support resources. Learning when and how to do that is part of becoming an independent and successful adult. And as your student begins this chapter, it is important to remember that the university's primary relationship is with your student. While we all share a common goal with you to empower our students to thrive academically, socially, and personally, this is a critical period in their emerging adulthood. These years will provide endless opportunities for them to take ownership of their own success. This may be an adjustment for students who have been accustomed to your involvement in accomplishing certain tasks, managing processes, and addressing other important matters, which they will now need to navigate independently. While your student learns to take the lead, our communications, programs, and services are designed to support you while you continue to support your emerging adult. That brings us to what this transition may look like in your relationship with your student. As you were preparing over the last few days to travel to Williamsburg, I would imagine that many of you took the lead in ensuring everything was packed and ready to go. The route to campus was easy to navigate, or at least you knew what color, and you were likely in the driver's seat as you made your way to campus, which I can verify because I was in the move-in line all day. As your student matures, they will become the driver of their experience here and in life. This may look and feel a little different from your relationship to this point. You're not being asked to get out of the car yet, but your role should begin shifting from driver to navigator. Like I mentioned before, you are an important partner in supporting your student's success. Your student should sit in the driver's seat while you offer navigation, just like maybe when you taught them how to drive for the first time. You will move from coordinating the details to asking good questions, from contacting an office on your student's behalf to helping your student determine which office they should contact, from knowing everything that happened during their day to sometimes receiving a very limited response to the question, how are things going? That shift can be very difficult. It can also be an important part of your student developing confidence and self-advocacy, and you should begin to encourage that self-advocacy. You may be on the receiving end of a panicked phone call at some point in the first semester. In these moments, it is so easy to jump into fixer mode by calling appropriate offices or sending emails on behalf of your student. My recommendation is to resist the urge to just fix it. Allow your student to take the lead. Try asking a few questions during that phone call. What happened? What have you tried? Who on campus might be able to help? And most importantly, do you want me to listen, help you think through your options, or help you make a plan? Sometimes students want advice. Sometimes they want reassurance. And sometimes, especially with you, they simply need a safe place to say, this is harder than I expected it to be. You can validate that experience without reinforcing the idea that something has gone terribly wrong. I acknowledge this transition will come easy to some, may be difficult for others, and it will not happen overnight. It is important to remember our ultimate goal. At the end of this experience, we expect your students will develop into independent adults. This means a difficult day does not necessarily mean that they made the wrong decision. A disappointing grade doesn't mean that they don't belong here. And a lonely week does not mean that they will never find community. Your calm can help them keep one difficult moment from becoming the story of their entire transition. This doesn't mean that students should handle every challenge alone, quite the opposite. The goal is for them to gain experience asking for help, identifying resources, solving problems, and becoming their own best advocates. Eventually, you'll move from co-navigator to passenger enjoying the ride to, yes, eventually moving outside the car and cheering them on as they go. Sometimes your role will be to listen, ask the question that helps them identify their next step, and sometimes your role will be to remind them of something that we said earlier. Strong students use support, and that needing help is not evidence that they were unprepared for William & Mary. It is evidence that they are learning how to navigate something new. But don't take it from me. A few experts have offered their own advice just for you.
I wish they knew that they could trust me a little bit more. Coming out of high school, it might be scary to think that your student who may not have been doing their own laundry or dishes is on their own in an independent setting, but college is really a place where you can grow as a person and reach new heights.
I wish my parents knew that I was going to be just fine and that I was going to be so successful in everything that I was going to try to do. Even when I failed, I would learn something valuable and I would come out just fine on the other end.
I think especially being an out-of-state student, my parents were really nervous about sending me 500 miles away from home. And so I think that knowing that there are forms of support for their students would be something that they could have benefited from. And I think they knew that to an extent.
Even though William & Mary is challenging, and it's a very different challenge than what I had experienced before, I am strong enough and capable enough to adapt to the changes that it needs me to adapt to in order to be successful here.
It's okay to be passionate about things. I know that in high school I would sometimes be embarrassed to talk about how much I love the clarinet or how fun Rubik's Cubes were, but I think coming to William & Mary, it was really great to find other people who shared my interests or other people who matched my level of interest in different things. And I think it's really been fun to just find such a passionate group of people.
It's okay to not get everything right the first time, and that it's okay to fail, because failure doesn't mean that that's the end all be all. Failure is a type of learning.
Teamwork, because it's a lot of meeting people with very different backgrounds than yourself when you start college, people from all kinds of different places, and really learning how to collaborate with them in kind of an effective way to make something that you could never make on your own is just really a cool thing.
I know how to self-advocate now, because I think that in the past I would always just rely on my parents to email someone for me or call someone for me or make doctor's appointments, whatever. But I think that now that I'm in my second year of college, I think that it's easier to confront these types of problems myself instead of always having to go through them to do it for me.
I think authenticity. There's really this energy on campus about really being you and being authentic in who you are and what you do, and I think it's really valuable, and that's something I hope I take forward.
even like my family and my parents say all the time that no place feels as much of a family as William and Mary does, and I truly have to agree. Everybody's so amazing, so kind, and I just love having that family aspect here because it means so much to me, and I don't think I really would be A, as happy in college, or B, as thriving as much as I am in college if I didn't have it like I do here.
I think it's a mobilizer of change, and the professors and the faculty and everyone here is so invested in you as an individual beyond just that scope of academics, and being able to have those meaningful relationships is something I treasure, and I think something that's unique to William & Mary.
I can tell that everyone really loves what they're doing, whether it be the classes that they're taking or the research that they're involved in or the organizations that they're a part of. I can tell that they have a genuine love for it, and so I think that's one of the most valuable things about being a part of this community is seeing that love really manifest itself.
To let your kids do it on their own. If they need help, they'll ask for it, but I think this is the perfect opportunity and environment to let your kids flourish on their own and learn what it means to be away from home and succeed.
My advice would be to know that there are going to be hard days, there are going to be hard situations that your student is going to be going through, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be having a horrible time or that they want to leave, and it doesn't mean that you need to come and get them or anything like that. We're going to experience challenges as we get older, and learning how to manage those things and deal with them in a professional way or to overcome our obstacles is just a part of growing up, so it's okay.
Please give your kids grace. They are changing, they're going into a new environment, they're going to change, they're going to grow. Something that they might have liked before, they're not really doing as much, and that is okay. They're becoming a new person. Just give them a little grace to discover themselves in college.
I can tell you they are not paid actors. They are real students who actually filmed that video completely independent of me. And now that you've heard both of our perspectives, I hope you can see the way that this relationship in transition may change. Now, with that larger relationship in mind, I want to turn to a few practical systems. I promised I would talk practical things today that shape how the university communicates with you and what information you can access. Now, most of this information that I'm going to talk about is related to the information that your student provided inside their personal information questionnaire. You'll remember that this was a required task on your student's Tribe Guide checklist this summer. First, one of the most important things is answering the question, does William & Mary have the ability to contact you? So, show of hands one more time if you have received an email from Family Engagement or me this summer. Wonderful. That is a large percentage. We love to see it. If you didn't raise your hand and you have not received any emails from us, it means that I don't have your email address. Typically, Family Engagement sends a few emails per month and will send other important communications that we will discuss in just a few moments. But don't worry, it is very easy to get you added to our list. Your student can add or update family information through the Personal Information Questionnaire, or PIQ, at personalinfo.wm.edu. The PIQ is also where students can make decisions about the information they permit the university to share with you. There are several different systems and terms involved, and they are not interchangeable, so let's see if we can simplify some of these terms. Under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA, your student controls access to their educational record. A release gives the university office permission to discuss a particular type of information with you. This could be academic, financial, or conduct information. The academic release gives us the ability to communicate with you regarding a student's academic performance. The financial release covers information regarding billings, charges, payments, refunds, and scholarships. And the conduct or honor release gives us the ability to talk with you regarding any disciplinary actions or investigations. A release does not automatically give you direct access to a system to view this information. It gives an appropriate university office permission to have a conversation with you. We cannot speak with you if we don't have a release, so please make sure that you're aware of which releases your student has chosen. Every year, there are a couple of students, after that first quiz in mid-September, that, unbeknownst to their family, changed their permissions regarding releases of academic records. You laugh, but you're gonna call me and say, Heather, I can't see their grades anymore. And I'll say, maybe have a conversation with them about that. It is important to have ongoing conversations with your student regarding the releases that they have on file. Ultimately, it is your student's responsibility to make those decisions about their academic record. A passphrase helps a university office verify the identity of someone calling or emailing to ask about FERPA-protected information. A passphrase is also deployed in, you guessed it, your student's PIQ. To protect the privacy of your student, university offices may ask you to provide your student's unique passphrase. Even if your student has already granted you the FERPA releases, you will need that passphrase to talk with university offices over the phone. There are two other ways that you can directly access information online from the university about your student. These are distinct and different from just giving us permission to speak with you regarding an academic, financial, or honor matter. Proxy allows your student to give you direct access online to selected information such as their local address, class schedule, account holds, and final grades. Your student is responsible for setting up your proxy access and selecting information you can view through your proxy account. E-Services is the online platform used for financial functions, including viewing the bill, making payments, managing deposits, setting up or viewing refunds. In order for parents or others to view a student's financial account and e-statement, make payments online, or set up an installment payment plan, the student must give access to the authorized users via e-services. So, in the simplest of terms, FERPA release means we have permission to talk to you about one of these subjects. The passphrase helps us verify your identity when you call or email. Proxy provides you selected academic access online, and e-services provides financial access online. You don't need to memorize all of these details today. Family Engagement has resources that explain these systems, and you can revisit them whenever needed. The PIQ also contains information related to emergency communication. William & Mary uses a mass notification system to send urgent voice and text alerts. This system will send an automated voice and text message for up to 5 devices. The first one is reserved for the student's mobile number. The remaining 4 are reserved for whoever your student believes should be notified. This may include your mobile phone, your home phone, or a work phone. Now, the next question I always hear is, Heather, when do you use the mass notification system? The system is used when there is a campus-wide emergency or a natural disaster. If something local happens in the city of Williamsburg or the surrounding community, and there is no immediate risk to the campus community, the university will use this system to communicate to your student only. If there is a threat to campus or an ongoing issue, we will communicate to all of the numbers listed in our emergency notification system. If you want more information regarding our mass notification system, our police chief and other members of our state-licensed William & Mary Police Department will be available this afternoon at the School of Education. The second piece of information to have in our system is their emergency evacuation plan. The plan helps the university understand where a student intends to go if campus must close. More importantly, it gives you and your student an opportunity to discuss what they would do, where they would go, and how you would communicate during an emergency. As of yesterday, some of your students had not yet completed their emergency evacuation plan. Your student must navigate to personalinfo.wm.edu to complete their emergency evacuation plan. And now is a great time to ask them what they put down if they didn't share it with you. So, where does the Office of Family Engagement fit into all of this? And what can you expect from us after today? Fewer emails, I promise. Our role is to help you stay informed, better understand the student experience, and support your students' growing independence. We do that through family newsletters, webinars, online resources, family orientation, family weekend, and regional and virtual engagement opportunities. Also, direct support when you're unsure where to begin. We won't always be the office with the final answer, but we can often help you identify the right question to ask or the right place to start. Our communications are designed to keep you informed without asking you to manage the experience for your student. We will share important dates, campus resources, timely reminders, and context about what students may be experiencing here on the ground throughout the year. I encourage you to read our newsletters, participate in the webinars when a topic is relevant to your family, and bookmark the Family Engagement website. And when you have a question, please do reach out. We're here to help you remain connected in a way that supports both your students' success and their growing independence. One of the ways families can become more deeply involved in the life of a William & Mary student is through the Parent and Family Council. The council is made up of families who support the university through leadership, service, philanthropy, and connection with other families. Today, we are joined by Paul and Marianne Cullen, who will share more about their family's experience and the opportunities available through the council. Please join me in welcoming Paul and Marianne.
Good morning and welcome to William & Mary. We are Marianne and Paul Cullen, chairs of the Parent and Family Council. May we be among the first to welcome you to the Tribe family. Paul and I are from Arlington, Virginia. We are excited to be with all the new families as you begin this exciting new chapter. We're both members of the class of '89, and our daughter Vera just graduated this past May. We're so proud of her. Parents and family members, whether this is your first child, your last, your only child, or anywhere in between, going to college is a big moment in your family's life. This week marks the start of a journey for your students as they venture forth to become part of this historic university. William & Mary's 1949 student handbook listed many traditions, but elevated one above all, the tradition of belonging. The handbook stated, "Those who come here belong here," and that's so true. William & Mary is a community of scholars, a community of minds, of friends, and of family. Both you and your children belong here now, and we sincerely hope you enjoy being part of this vibrant community.
We were attracted to get more involved at William & Mary because we felt the energy and welcome of this community. We participate in traditions such as Family Weekend and One Tribe, One Day, and we invite you to join us at those events this year. There are also family webinars and engagement programs around the country. Keep your eyes out from emails from Heather about these opportunities. Look out also for invitations from the Office of Career Development and Professional Engagement, the Cohen Career Center. This important office coordinates the offers of parents like you to host William & Mary students as interns or externs and to recruit William & Mary graduates. You can also offer such opportunities by signing up for the William & Mary One Network. It's like a LinkedIn for the William & Mary community, and actually you sign in using your LinkedIn sign-in. And that puts you in contact with students and alumni and other parents who are looking for opportunities, looking to make connections, both professional and to help the students. Marianne and I also saw the amazing ways that the school supports students with programs, services, and resources that we wish we had when we were here, and we're so glad to see are made available to students today. These are resources like research stipends, free tutoring, mental health support, and career development. We decided to join the Parent and Family Council because we saw that these programs are available because of parent support. Tuition, fees, and state support make up only about 50% of William & Mary's annual budget. And in recent years, the state contribution each year is as little as 12% of the operating budget. Without the private support of parents, these essential programs would not exist. It is incumbent on us to help make sure they continue. While we know you just paid tuition, you will also be asked to make a gift to the Parents Fund. Our goal this year is to raise $1.25 million. The Parents Fund directly benefits all students. Participation is key, and every gift matters. Please join us in supporting the Parents Fund as generously as you are able. Members of the Parent and Family Council will be at orientation throughout the day. Seek us out at the Connections Fair or come to one of our panel discussions at the Education Department this afternoon. We're here to answer your questions and be a resource to you. As your children walk the campus of past presidents, renowned scientists, business leaders, award-winning artists, NFL head coaches, and other luminaries, we wish them great success. May they blaze new trails, get involved, have some fun, and know that they belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul and Marianne. Now, I have a question for you. Have you registered for Family Weekend? Wonderful, wonderful. Family Weekend will take place September 18th through the 20th this year. The weekend features events and special programs designed to showcase life at William & Mary. You can learn about our world-class faculty and their work both in and outside of the classroom, experience special performances from many of our talented student groups, and reconnect with families from across the nation. Whether you are with your student or on your own, Family Weekend is a great opportunity to connect with the William & Mary community, and we can't wait to see you there. Let's hear more about Family Weekend.
I have loved Family Weekend because I get a chance to see our children do the things that they love to do.
And I also say getting to meet some of their professors has been great as well. So
I like meeting their friends. Also.
You just like meeting people.
I like meeting people.
What I think families should know about Family Weekend is that there's a ton of things to do. Yes. And that you may not see your child that often because they're all footboarding with their friends.
The football game seems to be a real highlight of Family Weekend, and it's a time that is surrounded by social activities.
There's so much fun. The pep band, tailgating, tons of pride, tons of school spirit. It's a lot of fun.
I would strongly encourage people to come and visit during Family Weekend.
Because it's an opportunity to see your child for the first time in a lot of instances since you've dropped them off.
So one of my favorite things about Family Weekend is connecting with parents that you've met either through the Accepted Students Weekend or even moving your child in.
And what we've been able to do is to continue those connections.
One of the things that I took away from Family Weekend was recognizing that not only have your kids found a school to go to, but they've found a community to be a part of. You know, while we weren't students at William & Mary, we've also found that it's a place that we'll be a part of for the rest of our lives as well.
We can't wait to see you back here again in a few weeks, ready to explore the world your student has begun to build for themselves on campus. Please note we have a lot of things planned for you this morning and afternoon. We will hear from other campus partners here before lunch, and after lunch there will be conference-style information sessions in 4 blocks and an ongoing resources fair designed especially for you. The full schedule is available here in the William & Mary mobile app. I encourage you to take a minute to plan your afternoon to maximize your time with us. It has been a pleasure to welcome you all this morning, and I look forward to connecting with so many of you throughout the day. Feel free to pull me aside. I may be running around, but you can always pull me aside to say hello. Our next session will begin right about now. So if you need a comfort break between sessions, please feel free to stand and go and take care of your own needs. Our next session is at 9:45 here. Welcome again to the family.